I'm thirsty.
Maple syrup, maple tree, maple leaf, maple soda. Maple soda? You heard me right! It's Rocket Fizz Lester's Fixins maple syrup flavored soda. Everyone's favorite gag soda company is hitting you with a unique, delectable confection. The fizzy, refreshing feeling of a cold soft drink mixed with a short stack at your finest breakfast diner. It's all from your friends at Rocket Fizz, Lester's Fixins. Y'all get your Fixins!
Hi!
Creaky, this better be good. You're interrupting the show. I would probably fast forward to the end of my afterlife. It's probably not a good idea. You know what, Creaky? Every once in a while you start to make sense. This might just work. Creaky, if you're wrong about this, you're gonna get off scot-free because I'm not gonna be alive anymore! Well, here I am, just a condemned man tempting his own fate. It looks like I found another wonky Limbo rule! I know a lot of you guys out there are watching this show out of pity for me. Your good buddy DJ Clive is trapped in this dismal afterlife and you're just praying that somehow he finds his way out of Limbo and into the real world. I pray for that too, but you know what? It's not all bad here in Limbo. As a matter of fact, there are some aspects of Limbo that I prefer over the real world. In particular, the exploration aspects of it. I mean, I think there's way more to discover in Limbo than there is in the real world. I think everything in the real world's been discovered already. Here's another thing that I noticed. You see these shoes that I'm wearing? I've been wearing these shoes on the show for a long time now. Check this out. Alright, take a gander in that corner over there. Look, you see? Now what you're looking at there is a whole other pair of shoes. Remember the Dirt Soda episode when I went into that light socket, I turned into dust and I kinda left my clothes behind? Well, when I came back, I did so fully clothed, meaning that the outfit that I was wearing duplicated. It's pretty cool, huh? To me, my own personal Limbo is akin to the earliest Nintendo games. The difficulty was spiked way high and you had to be a major gamer in order to complete these games, but there were a lot of ways to glitch and cheat the system. And speaking of glitches, the Divinity Crate, they glitched big time. With this particular item that I hold in my hand, Lester's Fixins Maple Syrup Flavored Soda. Now, I promised all y'all that I had stopped doing Lester's Fixins products on the show because I thought we built up to a pretty nice crescendo. It's kind of anticlimactic to do one now. But I'm doing this because, basically, I have to. To fully understand why, we're gonna have to flash back to many episodes of the past. So if you'll go on the journey with me, we start out with episode 266, Mango Pepsi. You might remember in that episode I did an impromptu top 20 of the top 20 impromptu Pepsi flavors. You know, on the subject of that, I think I do a little bit of a segue here. I got so many messages about that top 20 saying, ugh, that would be disgusting. What are you thinking, DJ Clive? Who would drink birthday cake flavored Pepsi? Espresso flavored Pepsi? Tiramisu? Ugh, that sounds horrible. I agree. It all sounded horrible. In fact, I'd say 90% of that list, to me, sounded like it wasn't appetizing at all. But I was just basically saying, I was listing all the flavors that would make lots of money. Everybody would want to try these flavors because they're the standard flavors that everything comes out with. In fact, number 1 on that list, chocolate Pepsi? If I could retread you all the way back to episode 139 when I reviewed Stop and Shop Twisted Chocolate Soda, you'll see that I was dreading that going in and I wasn't really all that happy with it going out. To me, that sounds like probably the worst of the bunch. Wow, so basically I just did a segue of a segue of a segue. Anyway, getting back to the matter at hand, in that episode, on that list, I mentioned pretty early on the idea of maple Pepsi. There's maple syrup flavored everything out there nowadays. Well, what do you suppose happened? What usually happens with this show, and what I suspect happened at the PepsiCo company. They saw my video, they stole my idea, which I said I was gonna give them for free. I guess I have only myself to blame for that. And they produced maple Pepsi. Obviously, I would have loved to have that for the show, because that's the kind of thing that this show is all about. Obviously, I don't have it in front of me right now. This is the standby item that they sent me. So what went wrong? I'm only about, 100% sure that maple Pepsi was never ever available in my area. The way the Divinity Crate does it, they try to find the location where it is as close to you as possible so it's cheaper to ship. And they kept going further and further and further until eventually they did find it. They did find my maple Pepsi. I don't remember if it was like in Texas or maybe it was even out of the country somewhere, but they did find it and they intended on shipping it to me. And the way that they do things is they ship it from the location to their warehouse so they can inventory it and then ship it to me. So something happened along the way. What happened? Well, they made the mistake of trying to do this by air. And they didn't have any checked luggage. They tried to smuggle it onto the plane and they confiscated my maple Pepsi! And they tried to send me another one, but at that point it was no longer available. So I missed out again. So they sent me this. LESTER'S FIXINS maple syrup flavored soda. It's not exactly the same thing, there's no cola element here, but at least I'll get a little bit of an idea of what carbonation and maple syrup together would feel like. And it's all part and parcel with the way things go in the real world, right? We'd all love to write our own stories and have they end a certain way, but 9 times out of 10, in the real world, stories don't have a happy ending, and such is the case here. Now, before I ingest this for you today, I should probably bring out one more flashback. Flashing back to episode 276, Peeps Cereal, which explains why the Divinity Crate didn't have any more maple Pepsi available for me to send to me for the show. It's because of the freaking scalpers again. They are out to put a dagger in the back of this show! To this point, I've talked about it to the point I want to vomit. I am so sick of the scalpers and they are getting so bad. It is so much worse than when I first started this show. If you want to try a particular product in this day and age, there are 2 things you have to watch out for. Number 1, does it say limited edition on the packaging? If it does, you better get it quick because it's not going to be there after that first day. And number 2, is it something so new and so foreign that it doesn't seem like it's going to be around for a while? I hope you stocked up on all that Crystal Pepsi while they were selling it because it's worth big bucks now! I have no problem with the collector's market. As a matter of fact, I kind of hold on to all my old VHSs, which I hear might be worth something someday. I don't see that ever happening, but that's a whole other story. All my old video games, I have a couple of them that are worth a couple $100. I mean, that's cool, but this is literally just hoarding something that's new that people want to try for the sake of money, for the sake of a get-rich scheme. And to me, that's so shifty. That's just so... It's like the very living embodiment of evil. And now I rewind back to the beginning of this conversation. Life is all about new experiences. And what are the scalpers doing to us? I have taste buds in my mouth that would be tasting maple Pepsi right now that are never ever going to get used. That makes me feel hollow. That makes me feel empty. This is an experience I am never ever going to enjoy ever again unless I pay through the poop chute. And it's something so simple, something so basic, something that all human beings should be allowed to... Shit!
Hello? Is anybody in there? Now I know that you are home. I definitely heard a noise in there. I need to borrow a cup of salt. Not table salt. Rock salt. I like the way that it feels in my teeth. How can you leave me hanging, bro? I'm just a bear trying to make a name for himself in this world. Okay, I will try you again later. Just be more careful next time.
Is he gone? You know, I'm all alone in Limbo here. The last thing I thought I was ever going to have to worry about is a nosy neighbor. But I guess I should thank him. I just saw a giant puddle of dog pee under there that I probably would have missed. Ugh, this smells strong. Too strong! I feel like I could just take this bottle and substitute it for syrup. Like, I could pour this bottle onto a stack of pancakes and it wouldn't really be that much different than pouring a bottle of Aunt Jemima on it. There really isn't that much difference. I mean, they're both syrup, right? This is just a little bit more of a watery form. And now I'm stuck here drinking straight what is essentially a condiment down the hatch. Should I have expected any more or less? Drinking this soda is like that one weird Jelly Belly flavor that's just like stuck in the middle of all the fruit flavors. The one that kind of like mucks everything up. Like the butter flavored jelly bean, the popcorn flavored jelly bean. Something that doesn't belong with fruit flavors. It's almost like a really heavy butterscotch. It's not the worst thing I've had on the show. It's not the worst Lester's FIXINS product that I've had. I mean, they definitely nailed the idea. It definitely tastes like maple syrup, and it does have a little bit of a twinge of that candy element in there that Lester's FIXINS is famous for. But I wouldn't drink too much of this. This is pretty unremarkable. And if you have truly heard all the words I've been saying up to this point, ingest them. Savor in every taste, in every nook and cranny, in every morsel. Because that's the taste. That's all that needs to be said. There's nothing more than I can explain. So the star rating on this one? I'm giving a lot of 3-star ratings lately, but what the hell. 3 stars. Drinking this makes me realize that the Maple Pepsi probably wouldn't have been all that. Still would have liked to have drank it for the show. This soda right here gives you the experience of being Kirby at IHOP. Just inhaling the IHOP air. And you know, I'm probably never ever going to drink this for the show, but part of me is still curious. There's a comment section down below. If you ever had Maple Pepsi in your area, if you still have Maple Pepsi in your area, let me know. Because I'm at a point where I disbelieve it ever existed. I'm starting to believe that it was some kind of weird fever dream that I came up with myself! I mean, because even with aborted projects of the past, I've still had a little shred of success in trying to collect these items. That Lay's potato chip special that I had to back out on, I at least was able to get 2 out of the 3 flavors. I got that far. The Monster Mash cereal that had like Frankenberry and Choco, you know, Count Chocula together, I was holding a box physically in my hand and I put it down not realizing it was going to be rare. With other products I've seen, like at the supermarket, there's a space reserved for them on the shelf and just nothing but empty space, but at least there's some kind of record that was supposed to still be there. With this, I don't have anything like that. So let me know your Maple Pepsi stories in the comment section down below. Please, because I want to know. It's your good buddy DJ Clive saying until next time. You know I should really keep it down. There's some crazy bear out there who wants attention, maybe wants to borrow a cup of salt.